Hey there, Clarinet YouTubers. We're back and we're going to present a video this time on how to tune your clarinet. You know, when I was planning this video, the first thing I had in mind was to do a video like the quick and easy way to tune your clarinet. Unfortunately, Bubba, one of my clarinet assistants here, had some kind of party this weekend, and he told me he had to borrow my chainsaw again. So you know how it is here in Texas. So he's off there with my chainsaw. I certainly hope he brings it back in a little more pristine condition than it was the last time. That red rusty stuff all over it was just terrible, I'm telling you. Next time he does it, it's going to have to be clean. Anyway, because I don't have the chainsaw to do the examples, I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and show you how to tune the clarinet with more traditional methods. Now, in doing this video, one of the things I'm going to do is break one of my own rules. And one of my own rules is never assume anything when you're teaching something. But we're going to be assuming a whole lot in doing this video. The first thing we're going to be assuming is that you know how to test the clarinet really well. We're also going to be assuming that your tone production techniques are really great. And we're going to be assuming that you understand that your equipment is all good, that's all been checked out, and that the tuning problem you have is really a tuning problem that lies in the instrument and is not in any particular other part of the equipment, or it's not in what you're doing as a player. So we're going to assume all that's corrected, and then from then on we're going to assume the fault is the fault of the tone hole. Now, most of your tuning, the tuning that you will be doing, should be done down. So you're going to be picking on notes that are sharp rather than notes that are flat. It's much easier for you to deal with notes that are sharp because you're going to be adding material to the tone holes, as we're going to show you. But if your notes are flat, then you know, you're going to have to send it to somebody like me, and I'm going to have to go medieval on it. Yeah, okay, something like that, right. Okay, now before we talk about actually how to do the tuning, let's look at some of the materials we're going to be needing in the process. One of your most important tools in doing the tuning down of the tone hole, the offending sharp tone hole, is, well, this is a needle file, as you can see, but the nice thing about it is it's got this nice smooth end here, and we're going to use that smoothness to our advantage. It's not enough to have a round file like this that's just round, but it needs that nice smooth part too. You're also going to be needing a sharp little tool. Now I have a spring, a sharp spring here in a vise, but you know, if you just have a regular safety pin and open that up, that will do you pretty well. If you can bend it around so it's very useful to you, that will do the job just as well as this. You're also going to be needing a cotton swab. Now, if you're here in the South like we are, you can just step right out your door and pick the cotton right off the plant and put it on one of those Tootsie Roll sticks or something, and you got your free cotton swab, so to speak. Otherwise, you can go down to the drugstore and buy these for about 1,000 for 25 cents or something like that. It's your choice. Pay for it or move to the South. You're also going to be needing some alcohol. Oh, not that stuff. That's for later. This stuff right here. Yeah, you can get it right in your drugstore, and we'll be using that because we've got to clean those tone holes. You're also going to be using some stuff I bet you never suspected would really help you in clarinet playing. You may not even know what it is or that it exists, but it exists plentifully and it's very inexpensive, and it's the greatest thing for tuning clarinets. It's called poster putty, and you can buy it at almost any store, in any variety store, any office store. Just go right in there and ask for poster putty, and it's used to put up really great posters like I have on my walls. Last but not least, you're going to need a clarinet, or the joint of a clarinet, with offending tone holes, that is, offending sharp tone holes. The way you begin tuning a clarinet down, that is, taking a particular note that's sharp, that's driving you crazy, and you want to get it down there, is that you begin adding material to the tone hole itself. Well, this looks like a typically offending tone hole. Let's say this tone hole here, this is the tone hole that produces G and D in the right-hand low register of the clarinet. Let's say it's sharp. The first thing we're going to do is actually we're going to turn the joint upside and hold it upside down after we've removed the key, of course. And one of the things that we want to do is to make sure that the tuning putty that we put into the tone hole stays very well, and that means making sure the tone hole is clean. So I've taken this cotton swab and dipped it into the appropriate alcohol. Then I'm going to go here and dry it out with the other end of the swab that is dry. The next thing I'm going to do is take what I think is an appropriate amount of tuning putty. I'm going to revert to my childhood here, and I'm going to roll out. There we go. I'm going to roll out a little snake, and then I'm going to put it on the end of my needle. Now here we are with the offending tone hole, and I'm going to place the putty, and this is upside down now. I'm going to place it, you might say, between 8:30 and 6:30. I'm sorry, in between 8:30 and 4:30. There in the bottom of the tone hole. You can have a little glass of water that you dip your tool in because you don't want your tool to stick to the putty. And you can see I'm just rolling. I'm just taking my tool and just rolling it there right against the sides of the tone hole. And I can actually, with the larger tone holes, I can take my fingers and work the sides of the putty to make sure then that that the putty doesn't come in contact with the pad, because you'll get a little sticky sound when the pad comes in contact with the putty. If you want to add more material, that's no problem. Just make a little ball or a little bead and add to that. Isn't that easy? Now the only thing that is good to make sure of is that your putty doesn't go down and fill undercutting if you have a lot of undercutting in there, or you might want to look right down that bore and make sure that the putty is not in the tone hole to the extent that it's protruding and extending into the bore. Tuning a note down is that simple, and it's that easy, and every clarinet player should be able to do that particular thing. Again, if you want to raise the pitch, then that's quite another story. You're going to need some special tools and special skills for that, and that's where guys like me sort of come in. Anyway, hey, looks like Bubba's come back from his weekend. Hey, how's it going? Look at that chainsaw. What a mess. Look, you get that in the bathtub and clean that off, and you make sure that after that you oil those chains. They rusted last time. Jeez. You just can't get any good help anymore. Oh well. Listen, I hope this helps you. Sign up for our videos, subscribe, and you'll get to hear them all and see them all. And I promise you, there won't be any rusty chainsaws in the rest of them. Well, I can't exactly promise you that, but it's Texas after all. And anyway, we thank you for watching, and please give us a visit on our website and subscribe so you can get all the videos and know when they come out. Thanks for watching.
Hey, cut it out! Cut it out! Jeez. Hey, put that down. Put that down.